Everybody, it's Shelly. How are you today? What was I going to say? I don't remember. I just had something in my head and it's gone now. So today I was going to talk about allowing others to be where they are. And when I first learned about the law of attraction, I wanted to tell everyone. I wanted to get everyone on board with this amazing new philosophy that I have found that can just change your whole world. And the interesting thing about it is not everybody's ready for that. And when you start spreading that around to people that aren't ready for it, you get a lot of negativity. And then you're like, wait a minute, what is this even like a real thing? And so what I encourage you to do is just be a shining example. It's not your job to change everybody's life. It's your job to change your life and to shine so everybody can say, wow, what are you doing that is just making your life so awesome? You just always seem happy. You have nice things to say. Your life is just going amazing. You're doing what you love, all of that stuff. And it's all about allowing other people to be on their own path. We all came into this experience for different reasons. And we've all been in negative places where we just think everybody sucks and it's everybody's fault and, everything goes wrong. Old Murphy's Law, if something will go wrong or can go wrong, it will. And when you change your habits and your primary way of thinking and feeling and acting, your whole world changes because you are now focusing on what could go right. And every time you turn around, there's new opportunity and there's new abundance and there's new love and there's new fun. And when you do that, instead of, the whole negativity thing, and then, like I said, people start noticing, and that's when you become a shining example. And you'll have people step forward in your life, friends, family, Facebook friends that you've never even met before will come forward and go, what are you doing that is making your life so amazing? And even then you can say, well, these are all the things I'm doing. I've changed my programming. I look for the good in everything. Yeah, but what about all the chaos and horrific things that are going on in the world? Every chaotic, horrific thing has positivity. There's helpers, there's kind people, there's more love spread. When there's contrast in the world, it always brings more of positivity. It just does. Positivity and love are stronger than negativity and hate, and they always will be. And when you put something out there positive, you get it back tenfold. When you put out there something negative, you'll get negative back, but it won't be tenfold because it's not that strong. It's like being in the dark. You got to feel your way around and it's just muddy and icky and everything doesn't feel right. You're not going to go far in that environment. But when you are shining bright and there's lots of light and lots of love, you just catapult into more and better. I read an interesting thing. So Tony Robbins did this challenge back in June, I think it was. And it was like the comeback challenge, that we've all kind of been brought to a screeching halt with this situation in the world. And so he did this comeback challenge and he did it for free because he'd had to cancel all these, big events and stuff because people can't be with each other. And so he did this free live event on, I think it was through Zoom, or it was on Facebook, I believe. It was like live Facebook. Anyways, I became a part of the Facebook group that is the Tony Robbins Comeback Challenge. And some people asked some ridiculous questions there, in my opinion. And one of them this morning was, are you greedy or are you happy where you're at? And I'm like, okay, being greedy has nothing to do with wanting more. Being greedy is, like, I picture like the piñata breaks and one little kid just grabs all the candy and scoops it in. That's greedy. Being abundant isn't just scooping it in, it's also throwing it out. It's throwing it out to bills, it's throwing it out to things that you love, it's throwing it out to other people, it's throwing out examples of how it is to be abundant. And so I just thought that was an interesting question. So I said, I'm not greedy, but I'm always striving for more because life is abundant. Like there's always more coming. And again, you can say, oh, Shelly, I've been there and there's not more coming. You know, I ran out of that money. I got that big amount of money and I spent it all and no more came. Well, how did you act when you were spending it? Were you like, oh, I'm so glad I get to pay this off, and I'm so glad I get to share this money with these people, and I'm so glad I get to spend this money on all these things? Or were you like, oh, we got to hang on to it because it's just this little bit, and if we spend too much, it's going to be gone, and then there's not going to be any more. I came into a bunch of money. I felt the other people around me kind of getting uptight and I was just like, you know what? Knock it off. Like, that's not what this is about. This is about abundance. And so when we paid off a bill, I was thankful. When we bought something that was amazing, I was thankful. When we went on a vacation, I was thankful. When I shared it with other people, I was thankful. And it just keeps rolling in. It just keeps rolling in. So that's what it is to be a shining example. And it's not your job to go fix those people that aren't. And you will get better and better at this. Like, I feel like I'm doing so good at this, but 6 months from now, I'm going to be like, wow, this summer I thought I was doing good, but I'm doing even better now. Like, everybody's freaking out about 2020 and what a horrible year it is and blah, blah. This has been one of the best years of my entire life. Things have just fallen together amazingly. I have just decided, and this was the difference between me and other people that let this just destroy them. I decided from the very beginning, I'm a reseller. All the thrift stores closed. Like, where am I going to get inventory? Kind of had that moment of panic. Everybody does when something changes. You're like, what do I do? And then I was like, I'm going to get resourceful. There are tons of people out there that want to donate stuff to Goodwill or whatever charity, whatever thrift store that they usually donate to, and they can't. So I'm going to put some ads out there on some Facebook groups, be totally transparent that I'm a reseller, and say, hey, I'm looking for items to either buy or be given to me. And I was shocked at the amount of people. There were a few people that were like, I would like to sell this stuff. Okay, well, what do you got? And how much do you want for it? Some people were like, they wanted retail. I'm sorry, I can't do that. That's not part of my business plan. But most, I would say 90% of the people were like, come and get it. If you'll take it all, just come and get it. And I did. And when the thrift stores opened, I had so much inventory, I really couldn't go thrifting right away. I did because I wanted to go to the thrift store. But yeah, it's just like, I just decided that I was going to be resourceful and I was going to keep doing my business. And my business doubled through all of this. Our son got to, graduate in distance learning, which was perfect for him because he was really starting to stress and get a lot of anxiety about school. My husband's company stayed open and he's had tons of overtime, and my business doubled. And our daughter got to get through a whole bunch of classes, for college because she couldn't go back to work because she worked in a school district. She was still getting paid because all those teachers and aides got paid through the rest of the school year because it was in the budget, and they were still doing what they could going in. And she went in and did some meal preps, and she went in and did put stickers on books, like all this kind of crazy work, but she still got paid. And it was just amazing. Oh no, there's a police officer. There was a whole, okay, I just have to tell you guys, this isn't a shining example, but no, they're not stopping at the same house. But I'm a little bit of a Mrs. Kravitz of the neighborhood, and that's not a shining example. It's very gossipy. I always have been. I'm always interested in everything that my neighbors are doing. So if you're one of my neighbors and you're watching this, I apologize. But yeah. And I think most neighbors do that. Like, oh, what's going on with them? Oh, they got a new car. Oh, where's he been all this time? Oh, who's this new guy? Oh, what are their kids doing? Oh, look how big their garden is. Oh, oh, their dog's out. My neighbor's dog was out yesterday, and I went over there. And I'm like, yeah, puppy's loose. And she was very grateful. And so, I pay attention. But 2 police officers with their lights on just went down our neighborhood. So, yeah. I want a scanner, but my husband says I can't have one because I would become obsessed, which is probably true. So, like I said, not a shining example. One of my little things that I do. Okay. With that said, go out there, be a shining example, allow other people to be on their own path. They're getting there. And if they don't get there, they'll be back there when they pass away. If you follow Abraham, she's always like, Esther Hicks channels Abraham, and he's always saying, you'll be enlightened when you croak because you go back to pure positive energy. And so we're all just here having these experiences of contrast so we can catapult forward with love and opportunity and abundance and experiences. I always say it's all about the experiences. Go have some fun. I do that when I get a little fearful of things. So anyways, I'm going to go now. Hit the like button. I would appreciate it. Hit the subscribe button and the bell if you want to know when I'm going on. Have a great Wednesday, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.